Spotify may be dropping Joe Rogan. Did you hear about it?
Joe Rogan will be fine.
No, hold on. Time.
Nobody worry about Joe Rogan.
I think Joe Rogan will be fine. Also, I've spoken about this, but he posted, did you hear about this at all? Joe Rogan posted a video about him recovering from COVID, and he just listed all of the random treatments that he did. He basically threw the kitchen sink at this because he's fit. He's a big proponent of experimenting on yourself, always has been and always will be. He's huge on science, but he's also huge on the conspiracy that might work. He has crazy people on his podcasts like Ben Greenfield and Rhonda Patrick, always doing these crazy fitness and crazy medical type things. And all he did in this podcast, not even a podcast, in his post, was I tried Z-Packs and I tried ivermectin. And when Spotify heard him say, I tried ivermectin, you breach your contract because he tried ivermectin. So ivermectin is like, there's science that promotes it and science that is against it working for COVID. I have no opinion on the matter whatsoever. I'm not a doctor.
Don't attack us.
Yeah, but if there's even 10% of the evidence says, hey, it might work, and you're under supervision because Joe Rogan has multiple millions of dollars, and if he has supervision to try this, and he knows he won't overdose, and he knows he won't kill himself, somebody like Joe Rogan is going to try it because he needs to get back to being 100% as soon as possible. Spotify said that he violated their clause, like of his responsibility to his fan base. They said that you're promoting things that may actually harm people. Joe Rogan's the type of guy that his lawyer was like, wait a minute, Joe Rogan is one, a certified idiot is what they said, right? Which he basically just tries everything without actually having knowledge of it. And two, come on Spotify, you said we had free speech and now I can't say this on my own platform. You know what? I don't care if you put cyanide in your body. It's your own choice, right?
No.
Don't do it.
Don't ever do that. We care a lot if you do that. Don't.
The point though.
Okay, don't do that. We care a lot.
The point is that Spotify must have some sort of monetary purpose for saying, all right, you said this one thing, you're gone. Like Joe Rogan must not be performing as well as Spotify thought he was, right? Or something along those lines. Because, I don't know, I know people who refuse to even get Spotify for whatever reason, but they're fans of Joe Rogan. So Joe Rogan didn't bring them to Spotify. So Spotify's stock went up, but Spotify's monthly income probably didn't go up. That's crazy.
So, again, we care a lot. If you consume poisonous stuff, don't do it. Please don't do it. We do care. Don't do it. Spotify has a lot of leverage now than ever before. So Spotify has something called the power of focus and compound interest. Spotify just focuses on the audio experience, and Spotify is way in the lead for audio content. I think it starts with Google Audio and Music, then it's Amazon, then it's Apple, and then way up here is Spotify now. So number one, Spotify has way more leverage than they've ever had before. Spotify is the most powerful it's been before, and when it comes to audio content, they're way more powerful than the other three major platforms. So one, they know this. And whenever you have more leverage, you're gonna use it. Okay, so now they're probably exercising their leverage a bit more. Also, why does Spotify have more leverage? They have Joe Rogan, who's like the biggest audio podcast in the world, or one of them. Okay. So one, we gotta keep in mind, Spotify, since Spotify focuses on just audio content, they've reached a point where they're very powerful and can make these like high leverage decisions, not need Joe Rogan. Second of all, I think a lot of people would have predicted this anyway. Joe Rogan is a conspiracy theorist or like conspiracy theory hobbyist. Like, what do you think is going to happen eventually? You know, thank God he hasn't invited Eddie Bravo. He would have been kicked out earlier probably. Wait, big fan of Eddie Bravo. Eddie Bravo, big fan. No. Can you imagine if Eddie Bravo was on the podcast with Joe Rogan? He would have been kicked out already. So what I would say big fan, Eddie. Big fan.
What I would say is, Joe, not that you're ever going to see this, call Google, they'll give you $95 million. Who cares?
Joe Rogan will be fine. Spotify better pay every single penny to Joe Rogan. He deserves it. I think Joe Rogan single-handedly blew up Spotify. I also would assume that Joe Rogan's growth on the internet was radically de-accelerated because he's only on Spotify. For Joe Rogan, if he gets kicked out of Spotify, I hope he gets paid everything he's worth. But in the long term, he'll just be fine regardless without Spotify. Spotify is so powerful now. They have so much leverage. They don't need somebody like Joe Rogan anymore. So the chances of getting rid of him is very high.
So someone like Joe Rogan though, right? Joe Rogan in and of himself will be fine. I believe so as well. He'll go anywhere and he'll make money. But there is the possibility where Spotify didn't pay him all this money up front. And they're like, okay, you've been on our platform now for a year. We owe you $20 million. We're not going to pay you this $20 million. So Spotify just got a year of free Joe Rogan potentially by being able to potentially kick him off their site, which is insane. Because what they're also going to do is say, by the way, these 100 podcasts that you did while you were on Spotify, they're our content, actually. That's what they're going to try to do. And Spotify is going to attack Joe Rogan, and I think he's going to come out, not maybe on top as in beating Spotify, but he's going to come out and he's going to do the same thing he's been doing for the last 20 years, 10 years, anywhere else.
He'll be fine. Not worried about him. My biggest takeaway is how much leverage Spotify has now. They're really the kings of the audio space, and that's what happens when you focus. When you focus, you're going to outpace everybody else.